Hi, my name is James White. I'm also known on the internet as Preacher James, and I'm trying to get a little centered here. There we go. Today I want to respond to a video done by Dr. James R. White of Alpha and Omega Ministries. Dr. White, for some reason, has a problem with the word discrimination and wants to debate Dr. Gushy, who is a advocate. I was going to say friend of Matthew Vines. You could call him a advisor, would be a good word. And so he has publicly said that he's willing to debate Dr. Gushy or Matthew Vines, where I've challenged him in the past, and because I only have an MDiv, he doesn't want anything to do with me. So you'll find, Dr. White, that I'm a more than capable debater, and I'm a very educated person, and that I've probably read more books after seminary than I read in seminary, and I read a lot in seminary. So I'm a very educated person, Dr. White. So don't take my lack of a doctorate as a fault or a weakness. So, Dr. White goes all the way back to the Latin, tries to find a definition of discrimination that fits his worldview. And in reality, all I had to do was look it up on my phone. I found a great definition of discrimination, which is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. It's pretty simple. What it means, Dr. White, is institutions like, for example, since I live in Oklahoma and I'm a graduate of Oklahoma State, I'm familiar with Baylor University. They're one of the teams that Oklahoma State plays in football every year. Well, Baylor is a Baptist university, and they, in their student code of conduct, say that homosexuality is wrong. That's discriminatory. Now, I don't know a whole lot of people who are LGBT who would want to go to Baylor or who would go to Baylor and be open about their sexuality. But considering that the football team allowed a couple of young men to sexually assault women there, I think they got some bigger issues on their hands other than worrying about who's gay and who's not. So, discrimination, Dr. White, is important in our society because we believe in it goes all the way back to our founding fathers. Everybody has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are core values of Americans. And if you say that people who are LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender don't have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, then there's a problem. If you decide that you own a business and you're not going to make a cake, you're discriminating. Now, what I would do, I would just make the cake and hand them the two little miniature guys and say, look, I don't agree with this, but here they are. You can put them on the cake. I'll make the cake. But understand, we're just going to have to agree to disagree about the whole issue of two men or two women getting married. It's really easy to deal with. But some people won't do that. Now, I wanted to quickly deal with the clobber passages. And my phone's going off. Sorry about that. just to show you, Dr. White, that a debate with me would be a very fruitful thing. I want to talk about Genesis 19 in more depth. How somebody could look at that and look at a gang rape and compare that to two men or two women in a loving, committed relationship just blows my mind. Let's look at the context of the passage. Is it funny or unusual to you that Genesis 18, Abraham is hospitable to the strangers, but the people of Sodom are not? What about the passage in Ezekiel that talks about the sin of Sodom? I'd like to discuss that with you. I'd like to hear your response to that. And I've read Same-Sex Controversy. It's a decent book. I mean, you're a bright guy, but you don't really respond to it in the book. I'd like to hear your response to Leviticus 18 and Leviticus 22. You are right that the word arsenokoites comes from the Greek translation of the passage in Leviticus 18. But what about verses that say that we're not allowed to touch the skin of a pig, or we're not allowed to do this? There's other passages in there, things that we're not allowed to do, but you don't ever touch on those things. What about Romans chapter 1, where it's talking about cultic worship? These are people that are going to a temple and actually having sex with a male prostitute. A man having sex with a male prostitute, and then going home and actually having sex with his wife. What about 1 Corinthians 6:9 or 1 Timothy 1:9, where your word arsenokoites that also is linked side by side with a word that means soft? It's the word malakos. In my opinion, in the books that I've read, especially a really good one from Jack Rogers about Jesus, the Bible, and homosexuality, which I would suggest you read, Dr. White. It will open your eyes. That the word soft is in reference to a young boy. And there were some in Roman culture that would have for lack of a better term, a boy toy. They would have a young, and I'm not saying it's right. It's disgusting, but an older man having sex with a younger boy has nothing to do with two people who are in a committed, loving relationship. So, that being said, I would like to engage you in a debate. Let's go over these passages. Let's go over some of the other biblical passages that talk about, say, the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, self-control. I've met many, many gay couples that exhibit those. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it swims like a duck, it's a duck. How can you explain that these people exhibit that kind of self-control? And believe me, I've been married for 16 years. I know what it means to be a married man and have self-control and basically say, because we know adultery can take place in the mind, you have to say no. I'm in a committed relationship. I am committed to one person. I've met many, many couples, both gay couples and lesbian couples, that have been together for a very long time. and exhibit the fruits of the Spirit, and they go to church, and they love God, and they want to follow Jesus. And are there people out there that are resisting the will of God for their lives? Are there people out there that are shunning the gospel? Absolutely. But let's be honest, Dr. White, there are a lot of straight people out there. Believe me, I live in Stillwater, Oklahoma, home of Oklahoma State University. There are lots of college students who are going to be partying, especially during fall break, and getting drunk and doing all kinds of things that they probably shouldn't be doing. And they're straight. It has nothing to do with their sexuality. It has to do with whether they have a heart to want to be in a relationship with God or not through Jesus Christ. So, I'm openly challenging you, Dr. White. My email address is preacherjames34@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll send you my phone number, and we can, I'll gladly come on your show. Any Tuesday, any Thursday, or Friday that you want. Friday would probably be better for me. Let's do this. You say you want to debate Dr. Gushy, and he's rebuffed your requests. You say you want to debate Matthew Vines, and he won't do it. I'll do it. I'll gladly do it. Because we can have an honest, respectful discussion. I respect the work that you've done over the years, where you've gone to South Africa to debate Muslims. You've gone to places throughout Europe to teach seminary classes. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. I respect you as a teacher and as a theologian. But you've got to understand that not everybody who's for same-sex marriage is against the gospel. So, we'll see what happens. So, for more information about me, you can go to preacherjames.com. I've got to update my website. It's been a while. Anyway, I hope you have a great week and a great fall. And thanks for watching. God bless.